There we go. My mic working? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, we're ready to go. All right. So it's election night. I'm gonna have this right here. I'm gonna have the results up at all times, so as things get updated, even if we're doing something else, I will still be able to see it. But yeah, basically tonight what we're going to be doing is we'll watch the election as things come in, as new things update. I've got a CNN live stream pulled up. We can tune into that when we need to. Besides that, I mean, we're going to be doing a content creator political spectrum ranking list. So basically, I've got a lot of content creators laid out on one of these. I forget what it's called. A tier maker. So I've got a bunch of content creators on a tier maker. I'm going to be dropping them in where I think they go on the political spectrum. That's going to be a YouTube video we're recording for. But other than that, it's just going to be, you know, looking at the election results. So let me fix my chair first. There we go. All right. Hey, Luna. Luna wants to come up. Yeah. Who are you? Are you a Trump supporter? Yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into election night. As you can see already, it's 198 to 112 currently. Who'd you vote for? But yeah, let me switch my screen right here. So this is going to be the tier maker we're doing, but let's go currently. Let me go ahead and hide this one. We don't need two of them up here. But yeah, currently it's not looking that good for Harris, mostly because there is exactly one path to victory on this entire thing, and it revolves around a place that is currently red, and that is Pennsylvania. North Carolina has been called by some places. AP has not called it yet, but I said it was going to go blue. Everything else I've predicted, besides North Carolina most likely going red, is still in play. The entire blue wall up here, while it's currently saying that it's red, as you can see, like Minnesota counted only 4%, going 58% for Donald Trump. They are the longest running state to go blue every single time, even down to the only state to go blue back in the 1980s for Ronald Reagan. But right now, Kamala Harris's only path to victory is winning Pennsylvania, which is currently 50 to 48 with 58% of the vote counted. And then basically, if she wins Pennsylvania, it's a sign that she will win the rest of the blue wall. This is the hardest one to win in this entire blue wall. All these states have voted exactly the same in every single election. So it would be unprecedented if one went blue and the others went red. Besides that, people have been saying like Nevada, Arizona's in play. I think they're both going red. North Carolina, like we said, is already going red. And then all these will be blue. So Harris's number is going to go up a lot. Don't look at like the number right now and necessarily think, oh, well, you know, that's way too oh, we do have an update. It looks like he just won Montana, Wyoming, and Utah, actually. Not many electoral votes there, 4, 3, and 6. But it did push him into the 200s. So now it's 204 to 112, actually. And let me just check. Okay, I got both chat. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube right now, so I wanted to make sure I was streaming on both currently. But yeah, besides that, we're still just waiting, watching on this. 58% of the vote counted, 59% of the vote counted now, actually, just updated. But mainly, it's going to be some of these suburbs. These were blue tonight. They're now currently red. They would have to flip back blue. and then Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, big showouts in blue, which we were hearing there was record numbers. I believe there's still people in line for these. So we'll see how that goes. You know, we never know. But that's what we'll be watching. So it just updated. As you can see, like it's still a pretty tight race. It's about 100,000 vote difference. But back in, I believe 2020, it was 400,000 win by Biden. So currently, you know, they do the counting different every year, but I think right now Kamala Harris is underperforming how she should be in Pennsylvania. By the way, I got the Christmas lights set up, but I tried to put some American blue and red lights. So trying to be like multi-festive right now, celebrate multiple holidays. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this as this updates. It's now up to 60%. It looks like Trump just gained a good 20,000 votes. Oh, and he just gained another 5,000. Looks like Kamala gained only around 14,000. So, unless you know, there's just a big dump that comes in out of nowhere, and there could be. We never know. You know, we saw how it went with a couple of the states, like Georgia, especially in 2020, where we just saw a big giant dump out of nowhere. And did it just update again? It did. That was a bigger jump for Kamala. 50.9 to 48.2. So we'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, we've got this special thing. So give me a second. I do need to start recording. There we go. So we are going to be shooting a YouTube video as well tonight, because the election stuff does come in really, really slow. So it's election night in America. And while we're waiting for results to come in, we got to, you know, do a little bit of fun. So tonight we're going to be focusing on content creators, because this channel is content creator focused, influencer focused, and we have a big list of content creators right here, and we're going to be putting them on a political spectrum. Now, Devin, you don't know all these political people's opinions, like they never put them out. Well, that's because we're going to be basing this just off vibes. So in no way am I saying this person 100% is, you know, a Trump supporter, a leftist, a communist, a Nazi, or anything. I'm just simply saying that based off their vibes, they're a little sus in one direction or another. So I don't know if we'll do this in order. We'll just go little by little, and we'll be checking the election results as well. Let me put those back up, actually. 112 to 198 right now. And then I will go back and forth as well during the stream and check. No change at all right now. So yeah, let's start first off with Mr. Keemstar. If you don't know Keemstar, he has ran Drama Alert for many years. Some of his highlights that we can maybe put him in one way or the other. He's said the N-word before on camera, on stream. So, you know, that's already pushing him over here. He endorsed Trump this year, continues to push him over here. He has said he refuses to date women his age. And then basically, I don't even have to say anymore. Like, obviously, far, far right Nazi. So, clearly, Keemstar, as far right as you can go. Well, not as far right as you can go, as you'll see later. We have some wild people on this list, but let's actually just go a little random. Let's go to one of the more popular streamers, and let's check out Kai. So Kai, one of the biggest streamers out, has a lot of celebrities on his show. Some, you know, lean left, some lean right. but he's also very commercial friendly. So um, based off everything he has expressed, it would seem he would lean left, but I wouldn't necessarily put him as far as a leftist, a socialist, a communist, because, just off the vibes, he has to be brand friendly, right? So Kai, most likely, I would put, where do you go? I lost. Oh, there he is. I would put him, I'm stuck between conservative liberal and progressive liberal. Um, I'm gonna go conservative liberal based off the fan base, based off just the vibe. It doesn't seem as progressive as it could be. Both of these can be commercial friendly, but this one seems a bit more likely. Um, oh, by the way, I should probably like explain these categories for people that may not know them. So, and by the way, if y'all have any input about this, you can also leave it in the chat and I'll take a look at it and consider it. Um, so we'll start with this. This is the very far left category. This will be people that are super progressive on all policies. You may even call them an anti-American, just because of America's sitting in the political world's landscape. These people are very progressive when it comes to economics, wanting everyone to be treated fairly. Looking out for just being a good person. That's a lot of the policies. They're anti-war. Most of these people you would see be against what's going on in Gaza or anything else. That's what this category is. Now, how does that differ from a progressive liberal? A progressive liberal will support similar policies, but only from an American perspective. So, they may want to end homelessness in America, or they may want to, give everyone free healthcare in America. However, at the same time, when it comes to anything outside of the American perspective, they don't care. They don't care how many kids may be dying in another country. They don't care what we're doing. They may even be kind of pro-military a little bit. Some things that would be a little bit concerning to the leftists, the socialists. Um, and then conservative liberal, your average lib, a normal lib you've probably met before. Just a your normal average libtard. The basic person, the person that was crying in 2016 when Trump won the election. The people that the right likes to say that they're owning the libs and all that stuff. Centrist, centrist leans right, but they try to claim that they're on both sides. Don't get this confused. There will be people on this list that claim they're centrist that I'm going to put further right because it shows their true intentions are that they do support the right a bit more. But when it comes to a centrist, one of the main things I'm looking for is someone that's kind of generally into politics, but can go both ways. Can be like this physically liberal, and then socially conservative, or actually the other way around. You know, and covert conservative. This is someone who may have ties to being a conservative, but never reveals that for their own like everyone on this list is like a public figure and gets brand deals and partnerships and everything, and will purposely not mention like their support for conservative policies or for Trump or anything solely because they want to protect their image. um I'd say a good example of this is probably Kim Kardashian. But as you'll see as we go on with this list, sort of a pattern that shows up in these types of people. Strong conservatives, people that are outwardly spoken about being pro conservative, people that have said they're voting for Trump. However, when it comes down to it, they're kind of just like they don't really know that much about politics, or they may necessarily not be that into anything, not that plugged in. They just say they're voting for Trump. They may just be slightly aligned with conservatives. And actually, the covert conservative could potentially be even more dangerous than the strong conservative. So it's an interesting thing when we get this part of the spectrum because it's a little bit more vague and unknown. But the strong conservative isn't like insane, isn't far right Nazi, isn't going to be racist or overtly racist, isn't going to um, you know, say a lot of the crazier, insane things you'll see on this side. These people are scary to be around and potentially harmful. That's the big difference. And then we have apolitical. This person, no idea what's going on. They're just in their own world. They're doing their own thing. But anyway, let's go back to the election map. Let's check how this is doing. It's getting a little closer. Kamala has almost cut it down to under 100,000. Um, has it changed? It's gone up 0.1% for Kamala. So that is with 66% reported. So Trump is now consistently gaining, which is a little scary. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up CNN as well over here, just to be watching it, to make sure we're getting everything. Let me check the stats as well. Are we dropping any frames? We look good. No frames dropped. Wow. Solid Wi-Fi tonight. All right. Anyways, let's get back to this list. Let's go with Jason the Ween. Jason the Ween has a lot of connections with people who are much further left, but he does also have a lot of connections with people who are on the right who have openly endorsed Trump. He's in FaZe Clan. Um, I'm getting I'm getting the same vibe of conservative liberal, but for completely different reasons than Kai. And I can't explain that. It's just vibes. It's just vibe. That's what's most of this list is gonna be vibes. All right. Let's go with another person that is extremely far right, and that's Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is the super like motivational speaker. He tries to get people to be successful, and he was speaking at the Trump rally in at Madison Square Garden in New York. I would have put him in strong conservative, because I think he is really strong conservative, but you can't necessarily be too crazy, especially if you're trying to be a successful businessman and present yourself very nice and presentable. However, at this particular rally, he said we need to slaughter the people who support Kamala Harris. He used the word slaughter. And for that reason, there's no possible way that he can just be strong conservative. He has to be far right Nazi. Let's make sure we keep the entire list up during this. All right. Anthony Fantano. Anthony Fantano. He specifically refused to review the Kanye album because of Kanye's Nazi comments. He aligns himself with a lot of left-leaning people. And if you follow him on Instagram, he shares a lot of stuff that's left-leaning. And for that reason, I have to put him as a leftist. Next up, let's go Philly D. You think Philly D, recording news, would be a centralist, right? But wrong. He does a great job of covering news and not being necessarily unbiased with it. But in his personal life, his vibe goes right here. And I hope that makes sense. Especially when he's not on the Philip DeFranco show. He does highlight a lot of things that are very important, that, you know, could come off as biased during the show, but he doesn't necessarily cover it during the show. The election results have not moved. We can check it though. It was, oh, wait, no, 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 that's North Carolina. Okay. Uh, no, it hasn't moved. It's still exactly the same. All right. Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie is someone I don't think necessarily that talks about her politics that much. She said specifically tonight, I said she was worried about the election, is what she said. Um, but, you know, I want to put her here, but I don't know. It's like it's not fully giving that. It 100% is giving this. Also, she's got a new podcast out that's great. I think everyone should go watch it. One of my old time favorite YouTubers, Casey Neistat. So, Casey always to me seemed like a super progressive guy. He was a bit into startups though, and into creating a lot of wealth. He built a social media app that is CNN bought for like $50 million. It was a basically worthless app. I don't know how he swindled his way through that. It was solely on his brand and when he was peaking at the time through the vlogs. Um, but recently, when he has made videos, it's been concerning, pretty concerning. So specifically, he left Los Angeles because he said he hated homeless people and he was living on the west side in one of the nicest areas, but still was like fueled for this hatred of homeless people when there's homeless in New York, dog. You're just like higher up, you can get further away from them with ever having out to look at them. Um, he's also talked about Israel and Zionism and being a Jew and everything. And when he has necessarily talked about that, he hasn't talked about it in an unbiased way. It has very clearly been in a way of I am going to completely disregard a certain group of people that are getting slaughtered, that are getting a genocide happening to them. Um, and I am firmly going to stand in my clear longtime ties to Israel. So for that reason, I'd love to put him in centrist, but he still calls himself a liberal. And he still does vote for a lot of liberal policies. So for that reason, I'm going to put him conservative liberal, and then the by far the most conservative liberal that we've talked about so far, the most confident to be in this particular one. All right, Patrick Bet David. Patrick Bet David has a podcast. I was following Patrick Bet David for a long time before he really revealed his political interest. Um, and also, I said some of these are off vibes, but in reality, it's like if you've already just shown your colors, then like I gotta like put you on here. Like, someone like Valkyrie or even Jason the Ween or Kai, those are 100% off vibes. But Philip DeFranco and Keemstar, those are people that have already shown exactly who they are and exactly who they support. So it's like I just got to do it. I don't have any other choice. Um, but yeah, getting back to Patrick Bet David, he had Donald Trump on his podcast specifically. Um, he's got a funny video clip out there of him specifically with Graham Stephan, who's right beside him, asking Graham Stephan if he was gay. Actually, no, I gotta find this. This is so funny. Um, okay, whoa, what's the current results? Donald Trump just got one extra, and Kamala is at 145. That is not updating on my list yet. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Oh, no, it's updated. I don't know why it's not updated over here. There we go. Okay, wow. Okay, what is going on? All right. She has one California, of course, one Washington, one Colorado. Okay, did Trump win any extra? I don't think he did. I don't see any that he won specifically. It's coming down to these. These are a big deal. Um, these are not probably going to be called for. I don't know. 27%, 60%. Wisconsin's a little concerning. Minnesota will go blue easy. Um, what's the ooh. That's concerning. That is concerning. It's not been called yet. It's at 69% reporting. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's bad. It's bad when North Carolina currently is actually leaning more Kamala than Pennsylvania. Ooh, Georgia will clearly go to Trump. Arizona looks tight, but it does not matter because this is the only path to victory currently for Kamala. Is Pennsylvania, which Kamala is starting to drastically trail in by around 130,000 votes, with 69% reported. These, they could go red. Wisconsin could go red. We don't know. If this goes blue, these all go blue, in theory. It is very, very unlikely that Pennsylvania goes blue and Wisconsin doesn't. But at the end of the day, Wisconsin is 10 electoral votes. That means if Arizona went blue after that, or, Nevada is the only one that has not released any results so far. I said these would both be red, but that this is a backup for Wisconsin, but Wisconsin should not need a backup. Because when it comes down to it, this is once again the path to victory, and it has moved even more. It is now 47.9% Kamala. That's concerning. And it won't specifically tell me how these have been counted. This one's not reporting at all. I don't know what county this is. This most likely will be red, though. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get back to this. And I will make sure CNN is up on my other monitor. Actually, let's watch this, actually.
Trump has a 28,576 vote lead with an estimated 59% of the estimated vote in from the Badger State. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump maintaining his lead. He's at 50.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 48.2% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 119,411 vote lead with 68% of the estimated vote in from Pennsylvania. In Georgia, Donald Trump still in the lead there, 51% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 48.2% of the vote. Donald Trump with a 136,328 vote lead. That is with 88% of the estimated vote in from the state of Georgia. In North Carolina, another battleground where Donald Trump leads, 50.8% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 47.8% of the vote. Donald Trump has a 145,388 vote lead over Kamala Harris right now with an estimated 85% of the vote in from the Tar Heel state. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris in the lead. She has 51.3% of the vote. Donald Trump has 46.9%. Kamala Harris is 74,838.
Now the Michigan should be a good sign specifically for Pennsylvania. If these blue walls are holding really well, up 2%, that's a good sign. But it doesn't 100% mean that Pennsylvania might come very down to the wire, and I want to be clear about that. It's not Jover yet. It's still definitely in play. It has about 70% of the vote counted. Yeah, we will see about this. I think that's all CNN necessarily had. Yeah, that is all they're going to announce right now. So I can bring this back over here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't, because this is reporting even more than CNN had up. This is ahead of CNN. And this is looking even worse. This is now close to a 200,000 vote lead. And if you remember, Biden had a 400,000 vote lead. So to have 200,000 more is insane. It's a little crazy. Oregon has not been declared yet for some reason. Well, it's only at 44%, but Minnesota is taking a long time. This will flip blue. Wisconsin is looking concerning, actually. Green Bay is red, so it's probably not counted that much. Kenosha is also red. So we'll see. I think there's maybe just like Pennsylvania, there's a important part of the vote that just simply has not come in yet. Maybe that's a little hopium right there. Maybe a little copium. Michigan will most likely go blue as the report goes in. According to CNN, it was actually a little higher. So, we'll see. I'm gonna make sure I have CNN up just in case. Let's get back to putting creators on a political spectrum. All right, let's go with a political commentator. Let's go with Destiny. So Destiny, everybody knows him as like one of the more leftist leaning progressives out there. The issue is he specifically talks about some things that are like a little bit off in his vibe. I would 100% put him over here, but he talks about he's a big defender of Israel, and for some reason he can't have any empathy for Gaza, despite having a lot of empathy for people in America who are treated similarly on a political spectrum. On top of that, he has defended his right to say the N word, which is very like off, out of character. I don't know why they're talking about North Carolina on CNN. That is done. Give it up. I'm sure, maybe there's something. Maybe the Biden stuff. Maybe they're gonna drop something huge. The big chunk of votes drops or something, or gets submitted. We'll see. Anyway, with that being said, Destiny should go right here, but simply because of like those few little things, I can't. I have to move him down. I'd like to move him further down. He may move further down in the future, but you never really know. You can never really figure out where he would land in the future based on what happens. He might, based on everything going on necessarily, he might go back a little bit more left during the Trump administration if that happens, which is looking a little more likely. Any updates in Pennsylvania? No, just about. Well, Kamala did pick up a little bit more. It looks like she shrunk the lead by 10,000, but still not necessarily the best. Let's talk about Alex Earl. Alex Earl is one that I'm going to put in the covert conservative category specifically. Alex Earl has grown up in a life of a lot of privilege. Goes on a lot of luxury things, does a lot of stuff. And on top of that, one of her biggest controversies is saying the N word and then copywriting her saying the N word. So anybody that talks about her saying the N word immediately gets copyright striked. And that that in itself sounds like far right Nazi, but she tries to stay out of politics. It's clear she is conservative, but she tries to, cover that up, keep that quiet, keep that really secret. Um, CNN and Google are showing completely different results for the election, by the way. Um, we'll put a few more people on here and then we'll start talking about that again. Um, Now let's go to another easy one. I don't know what order I'm doing this in. I don't know if this is like my order of you know, specifically picking ones that are easy to put on this list or if I'm just going random. I feel like there's still some pretty easy ones to put on here. I want to try to mix it up and get as many on the board as possible. But I do have to add another Nazi right now, and that is Andrew Tate, an easy one. Not to go in strong conservative, to go in Nazi, the most far right Nazi. Human trafficker, has taught a massive group of boys to be very primitive, far right conservatives, hate women. And then on top of that, he loves to use every slur possible on Twitter now. Every single one of his tweets is him dropping the N word. So, as Elon Musk would reply in a comment concerning. Let's see. Milwaukee County has 50% of the vote, and so obviously, Wisconsin could most likely go a little bit more left. We'll see that in a bit. Next up, who's going to be someone we put in centrist? Honestly, I need to get someone on the centrist list. I don't necessarily see one. I do see Emma Chamberlain. Let's talk about Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain, when she first got started, seemed to be somebody who was a bit more progressively liberal. And I've never really watched much of Emma Chamberlain besides her early day vlogs. What I have seen over time as she's changed is she has become a bit more elitist, a bit more out of touch, a bit more, just trying to live that luxury life away from the peasants. And specifically for that reason, I'm not going to put her on the right side, but I am going to put her as a conservative liberal. I'm going to put her right here. I don't know how I'm doing this, if I'm just dropping people or if I'm what, I don't know. I'm trying to put people closer on the spectrum. We'll see. We'll figure it out. I'm expecting a call from North Carolina pretty soon. They still have 12% to count, but I doubt any of that is coming from this region. I would expect it to come from the rural counties that may, not have the manpower to count votes or something like that. Arizona is currently red. It's 50% reported. It's very close. I said Arizona would be red. Nevada will probably most likely be red. People are claiming it's blue. I doubt it. Where are we with Pennsylvania? It's gone up a little bit and not much has necessarily changed. It's still the same difference. So Kamala is not picking anything up right now. She just did. She just did. She picked up a little bit, but she is still currently down by around 140,000. Concerning. Or actually, she's 160,000. That's not looking good. As soon as this is called, whether it's on CNN or Google, whenever Pennsylvania is called is when the election's over. I'll say that. Anyways, let's get right back into it. let's put someone else, one of these creators on the political spectrum based off their vibe. Let's talk about PewDiePie. Now, PewDiePie has wore Nazi costumes on his videos before. He has said the N word in one of his streams before. He has made bad comments about Hitler. And with all of this, you think he would be a far right Nazi, right? But no. See, PewDiePie is just stupid when it comes to, you know, how he should be viewed in the media. He tries to joke too much. He tries to be too edgy. I don't necessarily know if it's because of him having necessarily a fall off around the 2016 period, or if it has to do with him necessarily, just not understanding the American perspective from it, because he is Swedish. Now he lives in Japan, which is left of the United States also. Oh, by the way, next polls close in 46 minutes. I believe that's just Nevada closing. Or is that California and all the West Coast? I don't know. West Coast states have been called. Nevada has not got any results back yet. So we will see. With that being said, I think PewDiePie goes on the strong conservative. Obviously, he can't be covert. He's been loud about his political opinions, even if that is necessarily, a joke, or it's not that serious the way these people are, or this person is hiding about. But it's interesting. I don't necessarily think he's in the centrist category. Just because I feel like even if you were centrist, I don't think you would touch those jokes, especially if you're going on stream. He's had a curious case in his lifetime of being one of the longest term YouTubers and one of the biggest by far. Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper's an interesting one. She's clearly conservative. She goes on the Daily. She has a show on the Daily Wire. But what's necessarily surprising is I don't necessarily know how much of her opinions she believes. She went to UCLA. She said she was looked at UCLA for being too conservative, which I believe her on. However, she's 100% not in this category, and I don't necessarily even want to put her in the strong conservative category. I kind of, is there an option to add a row? Add a row above. Let's delete that one. Let's call this light conservative. I'm making a whole new category for Brett Cooper. All right. Let's change the color of that to pink, because Brett Cooper's going to be in it. There we go. She gets slight conservative. She's portrayed more stronger than I think her opinions actually are. The reason I made it pink is because she had some massive disagreements about the Barbie movie with other Daily Wire host Ben Shapiro, who was calling it hot garbage and feminist and everything, and she just loved it. And that single-handedly by itself changed my opinion on Brett Cooper. And I'm like, oh no, she's not about this. She's a bit more normie. She's on this certain network. She's doing this certain show. She's talking about certain comments, and clearly she is on this side of the spectrum, but she's 100% not, here or even lower. So she gets a new category. Anyway, back to the Electoral College map. Did something get called for Trump? Looks like it. He's up to 230. He needs 40 more electoral votes. Guys, keep in mind, he will 100% need this. If he doesn't get this, there's no chance he really probably gets any of these. Actually, let me do the math on this. Let's say he loses Pennsylvania. All right. He has gotten North Carolina. Oh, and by the way, Kamala just won Oregon on CNN. So this will get called in a second. Well, no surprise there. North Carolina. I missed North Carolina's call. I'm from North Carolina. Well, hold on. CNN has not called that yet. Let's pull up CNN because they're doing key race alerts.
Percent of the estimated vote in from the state of Arizona. In battleground Wisconsin, Donald Trump maintaining his lead, 50.4% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 48% of the vote. Donald Trump with a more than 50,000 vote lead right now with 63% of the estimated vote in from the Badger State. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump maintaining his lead, 51% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 47.9% of the vote. Donald Trump with more than 165,000 more votes than Kamala Harris, with more than 3/4, 76% of the estimated vote in from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. In battleground Georgia, Donald Trump in the lead, 50.9% of the vote. Kamala Harris has 48.3% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than 131,000 vote lead over Kamala Harris. That's with 90% of the estimated vote in. So they got 10% to go there in Georgia, but Donald Trump in the lead. In North Carolina, another battleground, Donald Trump still in the lead there with 50.7% of the vote. Kamala Harris with 47.9% of the vote. Donald Trump has a more than
My state has failed me.
vote lead over Kamala Harris.
Bad North Carolina. Bad.
Of the vote in. In battleground Michigan, Kamala Harris is in the lead. 50.2% of the vote. Donald Trump.
I told you she'd get Michigan.
Of the vote. Harris has a more than 40,000 vote lead over Donald Trump with 1/3, 33% of the vote in there. John King.
So, Jake, just going through some of these counties in Pennsylvania again. Joe Biden won the state. Let's go back and show you it.
Let's actually watch this. This might be important.
Right? His birth state. He's from Delaware now, but he was born in Pennsylvania. That was one of the things that helped him, is because he was, as he liked to call himself, the scrappy kid from Scranton. So where are we now in 2024? I was just looking at here. This is Lackawanna County. This is where Joe Biden was born. Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Does that say 90%, 99%?
But Donald Trump's at 48, right? So again,
Kamala has more.
State margins within some of these.
What did Biden get for that?
She's
county?
at 51. Joe Biden, 4 years ago, was at 54. That's a big deal.
Oh,
if you look at the margin there, you say,
oh,
but if you try now,
that might be a lost cause.
Right? That's 3,000 votes, a little less than that, a little more than that, maybe 3,000 votes. The reason it matters is you're trying to make up 173,000 votes, right? So when you're losing ground in each of these counties, it hurts. And so let's just come over here.
She hasn't lost yet.
This is
yet. I don't know. We're zooming in on these. She might lose.
43 if you want to round that up. Trump at 57. Again, 43 for the vice president, 42. So there she's competing, not so bad. There. So you're just looking for the pieces as you come through. Carbon County, 65 for Trump.
CNN's trying to give me hope right now. And
72% for Trump now. That's white workers, blue-collar workers, high school educated workers. Want to check back in here. Lehigh County, vice president getting 52%. There's a little bit out here. Again, you're looking for population.
88% counted.
Largest of the 67 counties. If you're the Harris campaign, you're looking at population centers trying to say what's left in the places where there are a lot of people. Modest amount of people in Lehigh Valley, but you see it right there at 52. Just want to come back. Joe Biden's at 53. You see the pattern that continues, right?
You might get that. Honestly, I think the gap's going to close. Like, looking at this now, unless she just very underperforms in these places that currently it says she is down in compared to Biden.
Can you make it up, right? If you're losing in one piece of the state, can you make it up somewhere else? Look at Delaware County.
71%.
Right, so it's only 70% counted. She's getting 60. Biden got 63, even in Delaware County, which is strongly Democratic.
Yeah.
That was my last stop.
So I 100% think the gap's going to close, but
right, there's 70% of the.
I don't know by how much.
Right, if you.
I'll be real. I'll be real about it.
If the percentages stay the same, you're going to make up somewhere in the ballpark of 15 or 20,000 votes, right? That's great.
Because those 100% could swing for Trump as well. We seriously don't know.
Looking for places where you can make up a ton, which is why
the voter turnout in Philly specifically was huge. So depending on how that's counted, I believe that says 68% counted. That could bring in a lot.
she said tens and tens of thousands of votes. Right?
Because they did not come out for
The Vice
Biden,
President of the
by
United
the
States
way.
is getting 77%
68%.
of the vote right now in Philadelphia.
Getting a lot of that vote.
70% reporting.
She could bring in another 100,000, 200,000 there.
In Philadelphia. Again, this is your biggest basket of votes.
I think she's going to outperform Biden in a place like Philadelphia, by the way. So it's not lost. It's not lost. I thought it was. It doesn't fully seem like that yet. But, you know, we'll see.
But the more you get deeper into the count, the question is, after this next big batch of votes from Philadelphia, does it become mission improbable? I think is what you're looking for as we wait for more.
I think she's getting Michigan.
And again,
that's not a question. I'm more worried about Wisconsin.
Near impossible. Not impossible, but near impossible.
There have been stories written a week or two ago about Democrats in Philadelphia sounding the alarm and basically using the press to send the message to the Harris campaign that they didn't think that the Harris campaign was listening to Philadelphia Democrats enough about the need to improve the margins. And just, you know, Donald Trump lost Pennsylvania in 2020.
I just realized the CNN stream is not showing up.
And it looks like he's doing that again
on my stream.
Even while improving his margins in the collar counties, as opposed to what happened 4 years
ago. That's
we don't have the
not good.
Because we're at 70%, but he said 20.
That's not good.
That up 117 votes. Let's just go back.
Yeah,
let's
pull this back over here. I was going to be talking about, I was showing you guys the CNN stream the whole that it was blocked. It was blacked out. This is saying still 47.9%. I don't know. Based on the count shown, I 100% think she could come back. What just changed? I saw a change in the vote. Trump has the popular vote right now, by the way, and I don't believe he's going to win the popular vote. Let's be real about that. He's got 56 million now. I genuinely, I don't believe that Trump will win the popular vote. He has not done it before. He didn't do it in 2016. He didn't do it in 2020. In his later years, he's far out of his prime. This is not 2016 anymore. I just don't see how he wins the popular vote. For me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. We will see. Anyway, let's get back to this. I will make sure CNN is pulled up over here just so I'm monitoring it. I will not be showing the CNN stream anymore, apparently, because it does not show up for you guys on the stream. I don't even actually know if you could hear the audio. Probably could hear the audio. I'm hoping. I didn't know. I did not plan for that necessarily. But yeah, let's get back to this because we got a lot of people to go. Let's go with Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect, they're in Texas. So, you know, leans right. But you can't judge them on that. There's a lot of left-leaning people in places like Austin. But I will say, you know, they're also like very Christian. I don't remember what rumors have come out about them. I've heard things in the past that were conservative, but I don't remember it. But on top of that, just fully based off vibes, they're conservative. And I think they're a covert conservative. Not as much as Alex Earl. I think they're probably nicer people than her. She's not a good person. But yeah, I think they go right here. We don't have any centrist yet. Let's see if we get to that. Actually, Ray William Johnson, back in the day when he was doing his equals 3 show, there was some sketchy comments he made. But on top of that, he covers a lot of stuff that seems left leaning as well. And and in my opinion, I think Ray William Johnson would probably be the best option. Yeah. Anyways, specifically, I need to take a pee break now. So I am going to switch to another stream for a little bit to allow um, somebody else to be covering the election while I'm gone. So here's a good political streamer for us to put on who currently has it's Hasanabi. And how many people are tuning in to this stream right now? 277,000. So yeah. If this is loading, let me put this at a lower source rate because I'm running this off my laptop and I don't feel like it's performing that well right now. Are we getting any frame drops? Let me just be sure about this. Let's view the stats of the stream. Wow, no frame drops in the stream, so that's great. Anyway. Let's unmute this. If it'll let me, I don't know. Is my stuff crashing right now? Yeah, that is crashing. Wah, wah, wah. Let me try reloading this. I'm gonna have to get like a gaming computer or something. Like this laptop is really, really hot underneath. You know, exit page. Dang. Let's try again. Is the audio coming through? Why the audio's not playing? Yeah, there's an encoding overload right now. I don't know if this is a good idea. Are we dropping frames? We're not dropping frames. We're not dropping frames. I don't think we're going to be able to watch this. Or actually, it's because the site's muted. Here we go. Are we getting any audio output? I think my stream is overloading. We're not dropping frames, but there is overloading right.
If the Democrats implemented a better turnout strategy than this like demonstrable fucking failure, it would have been probably a better safeguard against growing fascism in this country.
Or just had like a coherent understanding of what they were even trying to do or accomplish. Just any kind of like vision for what they were doing other than just staying in power, prioritizing something above just like this neocon fantasy that they've become obsessed with. This is just not what anybody was asking for. It's like the centrist parody of like a Bernie Sanders administration where he lets Republicans win because he's not willing to give up on Medicare for all. They did that, but
look at this. Michigan exit poll showing Trump Latino support at 60%, the Harris 35%. This fucking anti-Trump account literally says send them back. Dude. It's happening. It's happening. Liberals are going to start being insanely racist. You're probably a terrorist. That's an interesting take. Why probably? Like if you like I like that you're not saying I'm definitely a terrorist. You're like you're probably a terrorist. That's cool. Sorry. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, he gave you some wiggle room.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not fully invested in the fact that you're a terrorist, but you probably are one.
Mm.
Just saw Democratic political strategists blame the fact that black voters in Wisconsin are breaking for Trump on illiteracy. If Trump does end up getting anything close to the share of black voters that polls predicted, libs are about to get real racist real quick. Ditto for Arabs. Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of mine sent a map of the swing here, and what's really notable about it, I'm just looking at it. There's some states where like there's like clear right shift. There's like a clear rightward swing, like more than others. But it's just the larger story, even among like the Rust Belt and the Sun Belt. It's just a general secular shift towards Trump, not like some like huge like it's not like some Joe Rogan demographic or even like these insane like huge shifts, like this giant realignment where you have like a 40-point swing among one demographic. The larger story here is just that like there's just a voters who are up for grabs every year, and they saw this administration as a failure, and they saw Trump as somebody who they were willing to go back as a last resort. I don't know what the Senate race looks like. I don't know, like the hope for Democrats, honestly, at this point has got to be that they can hold on to enough of these Senate races that like they can maybe have a shot at winning the chamber in 2026 with a really, really good year.
I'm going to pull in our lib correspondent real quick in here. His name is Austin Show. I'm going to call
people said my voice sounds like his.
Okay, I'm gonna call both of you guys. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason is here, okay? My normie friends are blaming me for the Democratic Party's losses right now because I was like, listen, I told you that they were running a dog shit campaign and my normie.
So, is the audio working? It looks like, yeah. I should have not pulled that up. That crashed almost my entire computer. Anyway, let's check how things are. Kamala Harris is now falling further behind in Pennsylvania as the vote got counted more. It hasn't gone up too much. Keep that in mind. But you can't be falling behind as the vote keeps getting counted. Right, Luna? You can't do that. You cannot count the vote. No, don't come here. All right, whatever. You cannot keep falling behind as the vote gets counted. Yeah, can't. You just can't do that. Because now, Kamala Harris, I don't think the reporting just went up, but it didn't necessarily change in the numbers at all. But yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, at this point, you want to be rocket shipped? You want to be rocket shipped? 3, 2. Now be quiet. Sit. Okay, whatever. Well, yeah. Let's see. How far behind is she right now? It looks like she's about 200,000. A little less than 200,000 behind. When we started looking at this, she was less than 100,000 behind. That's really bad. That is inexcusably bad. And I believe what you just heard on the Hassan stream is that a lot of the turnout has been from Latinos voting for Trump. And I think necessarily Democrats have not utilized this idea and this fact that that conservatives, well, that fell off. I don't know where that went. Democrats have not utilized this idea that conservatives are doing one of the most insane immigration tactics ever, and it's this super mass deportation. They've tried to run on other things that don't necessarily matter, like the threat to democracy. No one cares about the threat to democracy. It's concerning, and 100%. I mean, I don't want to lose my freedom to vote, but no one's going to go out and vote on that. That's a ridiculous thing to go out and try to build your whole campaign around. And being wishy-washy on things like Gaza and specifically capitulating to the Republican side on immigration. Trump is saying, "Oh, immigration's so bad. Crime is so up." There has been 29 murders / homicides by illegal immigrants. That includes like car crashes. If an illegal immigrant accidentally car crashed, that's one of the 29 that has happened. But Trump's saying it's millions and millions of Americans being murdered by immigrants. And the Democrats turn around and they go, yeah, you know what? You're right. We need to pass a border bill and build a wall. Kamala Harris wants to build the wall now more than Trump does. And when you do that, Latinos are going to be like, well, I'm just going to vote for the other guy. You know, if you're not going to stand up for me, especially Latino men are probably going to be like, Trump, all right, let's just bring the economy back then, because you have not taken that immigrant policy, that crazy, almost Nazi-like policy of we need to deport every immigrant in this country. We need to deport tens of millions of people out of this country and go door to door like Nazi soldiers and deport them out. And you have not done anything, and that's why you see, she just won something. Congratulations for getting to 200. I doubt you're going to win now. Minnesota just flipped blue. That'll be called eventually. That doesn't necessarily matter. Nevada does not matter. Arizona is a backup if somehow Pennsylvania wins and Wisconsin falls. But this is 81% counted now, right? There's only 20% of this vote left. And maybe that's in areas that are heavily leaning Kamala. But you're down by over 200,000 votes. Biden won this by over 400,000. And you have proceeded to do so many different things to convince the people of the state to not vote for you. You just tried to be a lesser Trump instead of actually combating his ideas. Because people are going to be like, if she just wants to be like Trump, then why not just vote for Trump? And she tries to claim he's super dangerous, but then wants to follow along with his policies. And that is the main issue I'm seeing, and why this blue wall is not going to stand. Why Pennsylvania will most likely be red, and potentially Wisconsin going red. The Wisconsin is 70% counted so far. Sure, she's only down by, give or take 80,000. But it's nowhere near what it should be, how it used to be. CNN's only calling 211 right now. They're saying Kamala has 153, Trump has 211. Oh, actually, that just updated. Trump has 227 now. To Kamala's 153. And then when we're looking at all the state, I mean, she's going to get Virginia. Virginia will get called. And Minnesota will get called for Kamala. And New Mexico, already on Google, New Mexico's been called on Google already. I think they're going by the AP. CNN has not called New Mexico. Trump, according to according to CNN, Trump is up by 4.3% in Michigan. Is that true? That is true. Well, it's only 40% counted. Marquette's not even been counted yet. Although we're seeing a few counties here that are not counted yet. So we'll see with Michigan. I doubt Michigan will go that way. Arizona is slightly for Trump. I feel like Arizona is going to Trump. Georgia's going to Trump. Wisconsin, if Pennsylvania is going to Trump, Wisconsin's going to Trump. So that's where we're at this point. And not to get all downer about that, maybe still this changes. CNN has shown where she can make that up, but that was a couple percentages counted ago, and she has not made that up yet. And I'm not getting down about it. I'm not getting sad about it because I don't really want Kamala to be president. I voted for her. I'm like, cool, female president, but like she doesn't represent all my policies. And I think she's ran a terrible campaign, and that's why she's currently losing, is because of the campaign she ran. And I don't know necessarily if that's ever going to get through Democrats' heads. CNN just projected that North Carolina went to Trump. Um, it's been Trump for a while, according to the AP. That is literally closer than Pennsylvania. That is so BS. Ah, we will continue to follow that, see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Uh, all right, we do have some key race alerts. Wisconsin, Trump is leading a lot, 70% counted. I don't know if Wisconsin's even going to go blue. Yeah, I I don't know. I'll be real with you. I knew she ran a terrible campaign. I didn't think she ran one this bad, but it makes perfect sense what I'm seeing now. Let's get back to the to the creators, where they land on the political spectrum. We need an apolitical person here, and I'm not seeing one. I think all these people have political ties. TBH. You know what? I do see a apolitical person here. No, I don't. Never mind. I thought that was a different person. There's no. You know what? I probably would have put Cobby Lamb somewhere else. We're getting a CNN projection right now. That's for Ohio Senate. Whatever. Cobby Lamb. Cobby Lamb is the apolitical person, because I doubt anyone else on this list is going to be seen as apolitical. It's interesting to see how far Georgia, or not Georgia, but how far Google and CNN are off in their projections right now, because we're looking at Google. We got Google pulled up right up here. Kamala's at 205. Trump's at 230. CNN is looking at much different numbers. CNN, I believe, has Kamala at 150 something. Shout out to all the Democrat senators that just won their Senate races. That doesn't necessarily matter right now. I don't even actually. Let's check on that. Let's check on something that's not the presidency. How's the Senate doing? 50 for Trump. Oh, lost 2 seats, gained 2 seats. That's an L. And then as far as the House goes, House has lost 2 seats, gained 1 seat. Whatever. Governors, this is normal. This is typical. Ballot measure doesn't matter. Let's check on Pennsylvania again. 81% still. Hasn't changed at all. Actually, percentage of counted has not changed at all. However, the votes are slightly a bit more spread apart. 220,000 difference. And maybe that lead doesn't go much farther. We never know. Yeah. Let's get back to fun stuff, because it's downer vibes as far as seeing the presidential race right now. Sam Cedar, easy. If you listen to Sam Cedar, leftist, super progressive. And now the guy who's afraid of him, I am blanking on his name right now. What is his name? Mr. Got like a $50 million contract offer from the Daily Wire. Um, I am gonna have to look up his name. Cedar confronts H3. Steven Crowder, baby. Steven Crowder. I can't believe I blinked on his name. Steven Crowder has done blackface. He's done all kinds of like insane, terrible stuff. Far right. No question about it at all. Um, let's see. By the way, my camera mic is not on, correct? It's not. Great. Because so many things did go wrong on this stream, like I was showing the CNN earlier. I don't even know if it could be heard. I never checked that. But, congratulations to Kamala Harris winning Washington, according to CNN. It's going to be interesting when I get off this stream. I'll tell you that. At least I got one bright side thing tomorrow. I'm getting my Disney annual pass. I'm looking forward to getting my Disney annual pass. Besides that, Trump's going to be president again. I think I don't want to call it yet because at this point I kind of have to see how the rest of Pennsylvania plays out. But according to everything I've looked at, Trump will be president again. We never did Patrick Bet David. I just realized that. Because we got so caught up with the election going on and waiting for things to be called. But anyway, like I was talking about earlier, Patrick Bet David, he has never said anything that has necessarily gave me Nazi vibes. He is 100%, though, a strong conservative. Especially having, Trump on his podcast and all these different things. It's clear that PBD is a conservative. There's a Diddy commercial on CNN right now. That's wild. All right. Let's go rapid fire with some more Nazis. Aiden Ross, clear Nazi, banned off the Twitch platform. Has shown adult films to minors, encourage kids to hurt their siblings. I could go on and on. He's a dangerous person. Massive Nazi. Tied to Andrew Tate. Had Trump on his stream. All of this just super hateful. Far right Nazi. Dr. Disrespect. I would have put Dr. Disrespect in one of these two slight or strong conservative categories up until recently where the allegations came out. And not only just those allegations that put him here, I feel like a pedophile needs to instantly go into the far right category. But on top of all that, he is very strongly grifted into a super right wing politics on Twitter and all of that. It's been concerning. Another Nazi we can add to this list, Sneeko, hangs out with a lot of Nazis. There's one I'm forgetting right now, but he was working with Kanye West, and connected with Trump, and Sneeko's ties to that is very concerning. Sneeko has said many, many things. I think Sneeko was a Bernie supporter back in the day, actually, which makes it even crazier. But Sneeko, easy Nazi. All right, I think I got all the Nazis out of the way, all the far right guys. I don't know who else has there been any updates to the election? I don't believe so. It does not look like it. This is glitching out. There has been some more things counted as far as the election goes. It looks like Trump is up by 220 now. So that gives him another point percentage. And then on top of that, it does not look like Kamala's coming back in Pennsylvania. Obviously, you cannot call Pennsylvania yet. Every vote will have to be counted there specifically. But it is looking more and more clear that Trump is going to win Pennsylvania and win the election. There's no path forward for Kamala if she does not win Pennsylvania. You know, hate to be a downer about that, but that's what it looks like right now. I'll keep updated when I get a new CNN update. But let's keep putting these creators on the political spectrum where I think they are based off their vibes. So Tim Pool. Tim Pool liked to call himself like a normal Democrat for a while, or even like I believe a centrist. But it's been revealed more. Hold on, actually. Trump wins Nebraska. Okay. Anyways, Tim Pool specifically, he's got a lot of like negative things that have come out about him recently. He was paid by Russia to promote Russian propaganda, which honestly puts him pretty far down here. I don't know if you put Tim Pool as a Nazi, because he tries his strongest to push off super far right. And he tries to claim that he is like a normal Democrat. CNN saying 230 to 165 Kamala. AP is saying 230 to 205. So we do have some key race alerts I will update you guys about, because I can't show you the CNN stream. Trump, on CNN pulling far away in Pennsylvania. Now by... Actually, it looks like Kamala's getting a little closer. I will say that. According to CNN. We never know. AP could be more correct. CNN could be more correct. These different news networks are getting their news at different times. Michigan is still favoring Kamala. Wisconsin is continuing to pull out more for Trump, as the polls are not closed there. No, they are. The polls already closed. They closed at 9 Eastern. And then Georgia's in the bag for Trump. It's 93% counted. He's got over 50% of the vote. So yeah, that's depressing. That is sad. It doesn't even matter about if Kamala's going to win Arizona or Nevada or any of those. Those do look closer, but it does not matter if you don't win Pennsylvania. So that's that. Oh, okay. Actually, I will break this. So the first Nevada just came out. 73% Trump. Granted, not much of that vote's been counted yet, but I knew Nevada would probably go red. And now that's the first one out. Oh, and by the way, next polls close in now, actually. They just closed. So we will see what happens. Specifically, I believe Hawaii's is going to come in. So we'll see. Let's get back to these. Legal Eagle. Now, if you've watched a Legal Eagle, you would definitely feel like this guy is a centrist, right? Because of the way he talks about the law and everything. And the more he's gone on, he did endorse Kamala, by the way. He made a very specific video about endorsing Kamala. Legal Eagle seemed to be like moving more towards conservative liberal. However, I will also say Legal Eagle has a lot of ties to a lot of leftist content creators, leftist activists and everything. And while he's, a lawyer, he's got to remain partial. I think he goes in the progressive liberal category. I feel like his politics are very similar to Philly DeFranco. CNN over here trying to still explain how Kamala is going to win. I doubt it's going to happen at this point. Let's be real. I'm just waiting. I think AP will probably call Pennsylvania before CNN does. CNN, by the way, is standing by for projections. So there may be some crazy stuff that comes in a second there. Actually, is there any updates? I don't see any. We'll keep our eye on that. Um, XQC. XQC is very interesting. I believe he made a bet on Kamala or he endorsed Kamala. I'm not sure which. I think he bet money on Kamala. But he was also with Aiden Ross when he brought Trump on stream. And XQC over time has said some, concerning things. He's had his moments on the stream and all that. Um, but I think specifically, from what I've seen from XQC and all that, I think he's on this left side of the political spectrum. Um, is he conservative liberal, progressive liberal? I'm gonna put him in conservative liberal. I think XQC is conservative liberal. He may have been here at one point. At one point, I thought he was down here. So, yeah, I don't think we're getting any updates about Georgia. Georgia looks about the same as it been. Let's go a little bit deeper into Pennsylvania's. Check that. Trump is now at 3 million votes. And it looks like he is up by almost about 220,000. So not much has changed there. Besides the fact that there's less votes to count now, by the way. If this gets called tonight in Trump's favor, though, like I said, it is over. Minnesota now leaning towards Kamala. Wisconsin is almost completely counted. If Kamala loses Wisconsin, by the way, these don't break. This is why it's called the blue wall. These all three, they vote the same in every election. It would be very unique if Wisconsin did go blue because Minnesota's going blue. We do have some CNN projections. Kamala does win Virginia. That is already called by AP, however. That's something, you know. I'm getting the feeling more and more Trump is. I'm waiting for a full confirmation Trump has won. As far as the other states go, CNN is saying that saying the exact same thing that AP is saying. Now, as we get 16% of the vote left for Pennsylvania, unless that is all like super liberal and there's a massive dump, then we're about to see a President Trump again. Michigan is actually leaning Trump right now. It's only 45% counted. So I'm not going to say anything on Michigan yet. I'm not confident on Michigan yet. Wisconsin is looking much more concerning. Wisconsin is looking like if Pennsylvania does pull some kind of miracle out of nowhere, I don't know how Pennsylvania would pull this miracle. We would really need Arizona for Kamala to win, because Wisconsin has 10 votes, Arizona has 11. You would, if Kamala does lose Wisconsin and somehow win Pennsylvania, she will have to win Arizona. But I don't even want to think about if she's winning, Arizona or Wisconsin or whatever until Pennsylvania is decided, which, right now it's not. Kamala does have an extra 4 electoral college votes she just got. So that's one thing, I guess. But I don't know. Is CNN reporting anything else interesting? Doesn't look like it. Trump still has the popular vote. I'm shocked. I am shocked by that. If there was anything I would have betted on, it was that Trump would not win the popular vote. This is the first time Trump will win the popular vote. You got to remember, Trump did not win the popular vote in 2016 when he beat Hillary Clinton, and he definitely didn't win the popular vote when he lost to Joe Biden. So this would be the first time in history that he won the popular vote. And that is huge. That makes honestly, I would say that makes this the most dominant Trump's been in an election. And yeah, I don't know. He will be the first president since Garfield that has won, then lost, then won again. I believe it's Garfield. It might be Cleveland. But I feel like it's Garfield. We can listen to CNN and try to. You're not going to be able to see the CNN stream,
Color, the way the candidate,
but hopefully you can hear it.
who's winning in that area at the moment. And so you a little
I think you can hear it.
Erie County, which is a swing county, tends to be very close, though. So let's come back and look at this as we come through it. Number one, there are bellwether counties in Pennsylvania. Northampton is one of them, and Trump is winning with 52% of the vote right now. This county usually picks
Trump is winning massively, a county that swings a lot, Democrat or Republican in Pennsylvania. Right now, Kamala is winning the county Erie is in, Erie County. But like,
in the last campaign, it was
I don't know how that compares to Biden necessarily.
We'll see if the two swing counties in Pennsylvania split.
Oh, okay. I will say this.
If you're looking at this map right
now.
So,
CNN's reporting this. I want to check if AP is reporting this. AP is reporting this as well. Kamala Harris gaining. Okay. Kamala Harris has brought the lead down to about 175. It was at 220, 230 when it reached its max. Kamala Harris just took a massive jump in the lead. Cut it down below 200. That's a big deal because there is still a good amount of vote left, I will say. So when we're looking at Pennsylvania, we're looking at about almost 6 million people that have voted so far, right? And 84% of the vote that has been counted. So we're looking at, around about like 1 million to 2 million of the vote left necessarily. It says we are 84% counted. We don't necessarily know how accurate that is either. We don't know. I don't think there would be people still standing in line at this point because the poll did close, I believe, at 7. That would mean people would still be waiting 3-4 hours to vote. But I will say the amount of vote probably left is leaning towards much more populated areas. We saw in, North Carolina, that is still slowly being reported. Kamala just won something. I don't know what she won, but she's at 210 now. North Carolina's vote has not changed much. When the final bit of the vote's coming through. I will say I believe these are not finished yet. It seems like a lot of North Carolina has already been fully counted or won. Places like Charlotte, Fayetteville, Greensboro are the ones necessarily left. I believe down here is Wilmington. So I'm looking at North Carolina as a comparison to Pennsylvania because the leads are very similar there. 51% for Trump and Penn. In North Carolina, 50.8. And I predicted today that North Carolina and Penn would be the tightest ones. And I'm surprised Arizona is actually that tightest one. I thought Arizona would easily go red. So that, that's what it says about Pennsylvania and North Carolina, that they are definitely going red. But, this voting demographic up here and here is very different than this one over here. So, I'm interested to see, how this swings North Carolina's way, because Trump's already been called for North Carolina, right? Because there's so much percentage counted. Pennsylvania has a little bit more that can be counted before it's called. I believe, Kamala is down 170 right now. I believe she would have to cut the lead down below 100,000 before we get to 90% counted. So she's got to win probably, I'd say, like 70-80% of the new vote coming in that's left before we get to 90% counted, before this is even still considered. Because like otherwise, if Trump gains any of that lead back in Pennsylvania, the more reporting comes in, then it's done for as far as Pennsylvania goes, and then the rest of the election. I wanted to listen more to what CNN was talking about, because they're analyzing Pennsylvania.
50,000, 60,000, it's easier to do the math. You're looking at 168,000.
You guys are not able to see what's going on the stream for CNN.
Let's go to Detroit, where we find Jim Sciutto, who has an update on the vote count. Jim?
Jake, there have been a lot of questions and some consternation.
He's in
as to
Michigan,
why we haven't
so I don't care about what's going on in Michigan. Michigan does not matter if Pennsylvania is not in play. Keep track on that. I'm not seeing it shift at all right now. So let's get back to this, because we still have quite a bit of these to go. Even if Kamala wins tonight, or not Kamala, even if Trump wins tonight, if it's called for Trump tonight, we still got to get through this. Dream. Let's do Dream. Dream seems like a centrist, right? But I think he leans slight left. And that's all I have to say about Dream. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so focused on the election at this point. I don't believe the Electoral College has gotten any updates. No one has been called for any states. But it is kind of distracting. I am going to get a drink. I need a drink. So give me a second. Doing, Luna? Luna, are you okay? Poor little Luna. Luna's a little distressed. Maybe Luna did vote for Kamala. Maybe that's why she's distressed. I thought you were a Trump supporter. All right. Do you want to help me do some of this? Do you want to help me? Come here. You sleepy? Luna is sleepy. Let's continue with this though. Any updates? I will be checking this map a lot. Oh, ooh, ooh. It's still about 175, which is bad. That means the count just went up, but the lead did not change at all, which is concerning. Ah, I forgot to get the tripod for this light, so I literally have it balancing on half a part of a desk against the wall to shine onto me. Anyway, let's get back to looking at creators. Let's talk about Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper of the Call Me Daddy podcast had specifically Kamala Harris on her stream, or on her, excuse me, not her stream, but on her podcast. So, that already puts her in the left-leaning side of all of this. Sorry, I'm trying to check. They're trying to make sense of Michigan right now, dog. If Pennsylvania is not in play. But yeah, Alex Cooper, I don't know. Up until the point that she brought Kamala Harris on the stream, I always got the vibe that she was conservative, but I don't know. I don't know if I should put her in progressive liberal or conservative liberal. I think recently she's been given more of this vibe, but I think I'm gonna put Alex Cooper in conservative liberal. No real explanation behind that. Brooke Monk. Brooke Monk. What do I know about her? TikToker, does a lot of TikTok dances. Seems to have grown up a little bit more privileged. Um, is Christian, and honestly, I've seen her do some stuff that supports BLM. But I'm gonna give her. Ooh, do I give her convert conservative or do I give her centrist? In 2024, I think she voted for Trump. Covert conservative. It's crazy. AP is way ahead of CNN. CNN has Kamala at 182, Trump 230. AP is at 210, 230. And I think maybe that's why CNN is focusing on all these other different places. But like at the end of the day, Pennsylvania still matters, right? Because let's get back to that. Because we're going to say Trump wins Georgia, right? That puts him at 246. Okay. Then he wins Pennsylvania. Okay. That has 19 electoral votes. So that puts him at 260, 65. Yeah, 265. Alaska, I don't know how many electoral votes Alaska has. How many electoral votes does Alaska have? I think it's 4. Spelled Alaska wrong. Alaska has 3. Okay, so Trump gets Georgia, 246. He gets Pennsylvania, that is 265. And or is it 265? Is my brain 246? 265. He gets 265. Let's say Kamala somehow pulls both of these off. He gets Alaska. That's 268. Am I missing something? That would put Trump at 268. Right? Yeah, that puts Trump at 268 if he wins Pennsylvania, Georgia, Alaska. Let's say Kamala wins the rest. All right. 221. Nevada. Nevada has 9. Nevada electoral votes. 6. All right. So 227. Kamala already has Hawaii. All right. 237. 247. 47. 62. What am I missing? Oh, there's these up here. 266. 270. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Is there a path here without Pennsylvania? Trump gets Pennsylvania, Georgia, Alaska, 268. Kamala gets Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, New Hampshire, Maine, 270. What? I don't get it. Because originally, I thought that there was no way that Kamala wins without Pennsylvania, right? Am I crazy? Hold on. We're going to find an article about this because I was reading earlier. How does Kamala win without Pennsylvania? This is not hopium. I genuinely didn't believe she wins without Pennsylvania. All right. This is from Northeastern University. How Kamala wins election night without getting Pennsylvania. This will be interesting. Let me move this over here a little bit. All right. Most politicians agree that Vice President Kamala Harris' likeliest path to the Electoral College lies through Pennsylvania, but there's a way for her to win without the swing states. Pennsylvania, with its 19 electoral votes, is the biggest battleground state this year and is expected to play an outsized role in deciding the election. And that's what I have agreed on this entire time. I've only believed that Kamala wins this election with Pennsylvania. I was not someone up on hopium that was like, oh, she's going to get all the states, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, the rest of this is on Newsweek, so that's an interesting switch. So they're saying it is possible for Kamala to lose Pennsylvania and still get it by getting Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, and Wisconsin. Well, Georgia and North Carolina are already out. So, how does that work? No, get out of here. I'm not signing up for your email list. If the vice president loses Pennsylvania, her likeliest path would be to win Michigan and Wisconsin, as well as a combination of at least two other battleground states, either Arizona and Georgia, Arizona and North Carolina, Georgia and North Carolina, or Arizona, Nevada. Those aren't in play. North Carolina's been called. Georgia will be called for Trump. So what am I missing? Am I doing math wrong? Am I crazy? Hold on. I'm pulling up a damn calculator. Because, like, all right. Kamala at 210, right? She wins Arizona. That would give her 11. She wins Nevada. Nevada's got 6. She wins Minnesota. Minnesota's got 10. She wins Wisconsin. Wisconsin's got 10. She wins Michigan. Michigan's got 15. She loses Pennsylvania. Gets New Hampshire with 4. And she gets Maine with 4. That puts her at 270. Is it because of the blue wall theory? Is that what everybody's... Oh boy. There is a way. There's a way for Kamala Harris to win this without Pennsylvania and without North Carolina and Georgia, and it hasn't been talked about, and I don't know why. Because once again, let's do the math with those leftovers. This is a lot of hopium right now too, though, because Wisconsin is looking worse and worse. I'm going to be shocked if Wisconsin doesn't get called for Trump soon. But Trump's at 230. He gets Georgia. He's got 16. He gets Arizona. That's got no, he doesn't get Arizona. But he gets Alaska. That has 3. And he gets Pennsylvania. That has got 19. That puts him at 268. So there is a path here. Granted, very unlikely, where Wisconsin is a big deal right now. She cannot lose Wisconsin, and she cannot lose Pennsylvania. How is Pennsylvania doing now? Actually, let's check up on that. Because I haven't ran the math on that in a second. So we're just taking a look right now. Slightly close, 171, but amount counted has gone up. So I don't even know. Family group chat's going crazy right now. I honestly, at this point, I doubt she wins Wisconsin. I mean, that's still got a bit more of counting to do than Pennsylvania. And Trump is slowly pulling a lead in Arizona. Actually, hold up. Michigan, well, Michigan's got a wild count. Even if Kamala does win, Senate is majority Republican too now, by the way, which means there's likely not much of a change. Uh, not much would get done under a Harris administration. I'll I'll let you guys know what I'm telling the family group chat right now. Kamala Harris was too conservative, and this is why she lost. She capitulated to Trump's framing of the border wall, or not the border wall, but of and she on top of that was not strong enough on the Gaza issue. She cornered herself by relying on Pennsylvania. But went with Tim Walz instead of Josh Shapiro in that stupid strategy. Hopefully Democrats pick a more progressive candidate next time. My brother said Trump turns into 2018 LeBron when he goes up against women. uh Polymarket says there's a 97% Trump wins the election and becomes number 47. Okay. We dropped 99 frames, interestingly enough, but that was 0% of the stream, so not too worried. Are the Anaheim Ducks even winning? No, they're not. Nothing's going my way tonight. Yeah, I mean, is there any updates here? She's closing in a little bit, not much, not much at all. Time is running out in Pennsylvania, baby. And Wisconsin doesn't look like it's helping much at all either. So let's get back to making the tier list. Let's talk about Big Justice, baby. Big Justice and his dad. Um, Personally, they give conservative vibes, but also liberal vibes. So the dad has actually been doing online content creation for a long time, and that's not just a liberal thing. But you know, he sort of leans that way. But yeah, I'm gonna put him in the covert conservative. That's the vibe they give me. Um, Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, I would have usually put him up here, but just like Destiny, he has had his issues and his stances that are kind of conservative. So he is going in the progressive liberal category. And honestly, with the way he's going, I'm not going to be surprised if he doesn't get down here at some point. Hassan Abi, no question. Probably the most on this list out of everybody. He goes right here. Livy Dunn. She goes to LSU, you know. Louisiana, very conservative. She dates a baseball player. But she also, I understand she deals with a lot of harassment online by men and understands that difficult side of it. Um, but that's not going to be enough. She's still covert conservative, baby. Graham Stephan, slight conservative, strong conservative. Graham is open to ideas. If you've listened to his podcast before, he's really open to other ideas. His main goal is making money and you know, using people in the system and everything. And he probably voted for Trump, honestly, but only slight conservative. He does talk about politics a lot, so that's why I wouldn't put him in covert. But yeah. Michelle Monet. Is that her name? No, it's her name is not Michelle Monet. Her name's Monet McMichaels, right? Monet McMichaels. I don't know. I get covert conservative from her. Hmm. But she could be here. Honestly, let's check her Instagram. Or actually, does she have a Twitter? Because there's probably more updated information. What is CNN saying? Trump wins North Carolina. I already know that. Battleground, AZGA, MI, NB, PA, WI. Too early to call. Doubt that. I can almost call them right now. We're being very, very real. Where's my? Oh, there it is. I had an X tab open. Is she even on? Honestly, I'm thinking more about her boyfriend currently. He gives vibes. The last time she posted anything on Twitter was October 30th. Um, where'd my tab go? Oh, never mind, it's back. Um, I'll check her Instagram. Hold on, I'll check it on my phone. I want to check Monet Michaels. Is that her name? Her Jeff Jackson wins Attorney General. I don't trust Jeff Jackson, but that's whatever. Um, Monet McMichaels. Who is she following? Okay, I've seen enough. I looked at her following list and looked at the mutuals. She is 100%. Where'd she go? Oh, she's up here. She is 100% conservative liberal. Maybe even more. Up here on the list. We don't know. Speed. I will say, top two streamers are Kai and Speed. I will say Speed is to the left of Kai. Speed generally he has gotten more culture by traveling around the world. He believes in freeing Palestine. His heart is generally in the right place. He used to be, I would say he was probably down in this area at one point, but he's matured. He's a great guy. I love Speed. Bella Porch. Given progressive liberal vibes, she got famous off of just that one TikTok blowing up. But, I think she's a bit more of an interesting person than that. If you've ever listened to her music, if you've ever listened to her on one of these podcasts or anything, she seems like a generally super nice person. She seems far away from this, which is why I think she should go in progressive liberal. Let's check how the election's doing, baby. Pennsylvania. Any changes? Doesn't look like it. No update on the Pennsylvania count. Wisconsin. Ooh. Wisconsin's not looking great. I'll be real. Wisconsin is looking concerning. Pretty concerning. Nevada's not out at all yet. Let me check CNN. What are they talking about over here on the libbed up media? Oh, CNN is projecting Trump wins Georgia before AP does. That's the first time CNN has called something night before AP is Georgia. So that will give Trump 246. Like I said earlier, Kamala at this point has to win either Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. If she wins Pennsylvania, she has a couple of paths to getting to 270. However, if she loses Pennsylvania, she has no choice but to win Wisconsin, win Minnesota, win Michigan. She will probably win Maine and New Hampshire, but then win Nevada and Arizona. The Arizona race is tightening up, so we'll see about that. But I do want to stress that there is a path forward if she loses Pennsylvania. People have freaked out and said, oh, there's no way possible. There is a way. Unfortunately, that way looks very, very unlikely. And I think we're getting super close to Trump becoming president again. We're not far away from a number 47 at this point, as this lead is not shrinking enough as the count gets closer and closer. Maybe there's some crazy number drop in the next couple of counts for this. But even then, you've got to win either Arizona or Wisconsin after that. I believe we're going to see the blue wall break for the first time, by the way. I'm calling that right now. We are going to see the blue wall break for the first time. And that's the one thing I'm confident in, is that we're seeing the blue wall break. I don't know. I'm not going to give a definite Trump is president yet. I think there is still, Kamala's got like a 5% chance. I'm being real. Kamala's got like a 5% chance left of winning this election. Trump is still massively up in the popular vote, which I just don't agree with. I don't see at the end of the night that being possible unless this is just insane, and an insanely unexpected thing. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We just got to keep waiting. It'll come through. It's only 9:40. Surprisingly, I think this election's getting called tonight. The Anaheim Ducks are going to lose their game too, so maybe I'm on team loser tonight, you know. Did Miami play a game? Miami Heat? Because you know what? We're gonna base this now on Miami lost their game yesterday, and the Dodgers won the World Series. So, oh no, Hail Mary at this point. When did the Rams play their last? I'm basing the okay. The Rams beat the Seahawks, so that doesn't tell me anything. I was gonna say like, oh, I'm completely on team losers, both sports wise and politically wise. Um, but I got some winners and losers on my sports. So I don't know if I have a loser yet on my political. This is not moving at all. We're not getting anything about this. I don't know if CNN giving any. They're running ads right now about some dude that went to LSU. So, oh boy. Speaking of LSU, Libby Dunn is a covert conservative, according to my vibe check. CNN is coming back, so we'll see if anything comes from that. But Mark is is this Mark? No, this is not Mark Robber. This is the guy that does the. I get him mixed up. He's huge on TikTok. Sorry, I keep looking back and forth to see. Okay, CNN's got key race alerts. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about the creators in a second. Okay, Pennsylvania now 89% counted by CNN, and it looks like there is absolutely no move there. That is oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's CNN. CNN's got it 89% counted, and there was no move. Does AP have any updated? They went up to 87%. That gap's not moving. Let's see. Where's it at now? Earlier, it was at 171,000. Right now, it is at 171,000. It did not, the gap on Pennsylvania did not move at all as we got a little bit more of that counted, which is, very, very concerning. I think, I don't know. It's getting so close to 90. I think when it gets to 90, they're either going to call it for Trump or I'm personally going to call it for Trump. Because when it gets to 90, I doubt we're going to, see any change. One of the campaign guys for Harris just got on stage and said, like, yeah, no, I didn't even like watch it or hear anything he just said, but I 100% just think he just said, yeah, no, we got it. We're going to keep going and keep waiting. But it is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay, Addison Rae. Addison Rae, I believe, voted for Kamala today. However, based on everything she's done, including dating Bryce Hall, and just her general vibe she gives off, covert conservative. And speaking of her boyfriend Bryce Hall, we covered him a while back on one of the creator news streams. Personally, I think Bryce Hall, he's not smart enough to be a Nazi. I feel like he doesn't know enough about politics to be a Nazi, I think he's just strong conservative. I don't think he's even slight conservative. I think he's just down here. He's been on stage with Trump all the time, and he's being very antagonizing to people. And given the chance, he's probably said the N word before. Um, Strong conservative, baby. Mr. Beast, baby. 100% covert conservative. No idea where he fits on here. I would put him at centrist, but I just know deep down, Mr. Beast is got some conservative ties somewhere. I don't know. It's given that vibe. I mean, I grew up in North Carolina. I know about Greenville, a very conservative place. I genuinely doubt Mr. Beast has ever been up here on this side of the spectrum. He's got lots of friends up here on this side of the spectrum. I doubt he's ever personally himself been up here. CNN just said Harris will not speak tonight. He will speak tomorrow. If that is called, so that's the thing. This race might be called tonight. Kamala may not concede until tomorrow morning. That is interesting. Pennsylvania. Okay, she's gotten the lead down. It's at 90%. She's gotten it down to 160,000. That is way off from where I said it should be at 90%. You know, I said Kamala should have it down to 100,000 if she wants to win Pennsylvania. But, you know, that was a pretty big jump there from 170,000 to, 10,000 off that lead. Is AP saying anything different? AP is saying about 165. A little bit different than CNN's at 160. They're at 88% reported. I want to call this for Trump, but it's kind of like it's a slow grind, but I'm seeing Pennsylvania move. Wisconsin, on the other hand, is MAGA. I don't know. I don't know if Wisconsin. So, like I said earlier, she has to win Pennsylvania or Wisconsin. There's no way that she can lose both of these and still win. And the reason I'm picking these two specifically, because like I mean, Wisconsin's got the same amount of votes as Minnesota, but like the difference is these are both like leaning heavy towards Trump right now, and she has to force that lead down in some way, or she's not winning either of these. And that will call the race. Okay, so yeah, the campaign manager got up and said like Harris is not sleeping tonight. She's a little eepy. You know, it's past midnight. She just turned 60. That Biden syndrome's starting to kick in. She's got to go to bed. I bet Trump's already in bed. I don't know. Maybe he's. I don't know. I don't think I would go to sleep with Elon Musk in my house. But yeah. I don't know about these. I'm gonna keep checking Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. I've got my mind on Pennsylvania, but I probably need to like take a look at Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin has much less of an opportunity to close that lead too, by the way. I'll say that. Wisconsin is currently much more heavily leaning Trump than Pennsylvania is. I mean, it's got more to count, but it's got less votes to count. There's a lot more people that live in Pennsylvania, so a lot less like full on opportunity, you know. So yeah, that is interesting. Drewski, baby. I would want to put him over here, but he just doesn't give that vibe. A lot of the people he hangs out with, I would put down here, which is concerning. If I had to be completely honest, I'd say Drewski voted for Trump. Covert conservative, baby. That is starting to add up. So let's do something that's not going to add up and do an easy one. Rhett and Link. I don't know if I'd put Rhett and Link here or here. I'm looking at who's here and I just can't put them here. So I'm going to put Rhett and Link right up here. And we are almost out of people. Valkyrie's on here twice, so just ignore that. I don't know how that happened. CNN is saying 182 to 246. AP is saying 210 to 230. AP is not called Georgia. CNN has. And CNN has not called a lot for Kamala yet. Which I don't know why. We'll see. But yeah, Marquez Brownlee. Marquez, I don't think he's here, but I definitely don't think he's anywhere down here. He's somewhere in here. That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't think he's a centrist. I don't think he's a progressive liberal either. I'm gonna give him conservative liberal. Ninja. Centrist. There we go. I said there would be no other centrist tonight. I think Ninja's a centrist. I don't think he's like a covert conservative. I don't think he's slightly conservative, but I wouldn't say he's a conservative liberal either. I'd put Ninja at a centrist. CNN's not reporting anything new. Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye, I would put left of Ninja. I wouldn't put him this far left. So conservative liberal. I was giving reasons before. I'm not necessarily giving reasons now. This is definitely more vibes thing. Markiplier. Markiplier, I would put left of Jacksepticeye. Would I put him here? Here? I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him right beside Jacksepticeye. Any updates on the election? Ooh, 90% now. Ooh. Okay, it's over. It is over. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump. Hold on. Actually, before I announce that. Can I say that yet? I'm going to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with a heavy heart. It is with a very... Honestly, I need music for this. Give me a second. Give me a second. This is important. If it'll load. This is important. This is crucial. I need this. I need this. Come on, YouTube. Come on, pull through. I'm killing it right now. Come on. I'm killing my RAM. Or I'm putting too much render pressure or everything. I need to close something before they'll play. I'm not closing that. I'll close this. Yes, the SpongeBob song is important. Don't question it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with... Hold on. I need to move this... Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a very, very heavy heart that I let you know Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. Kamala Harris, in my book, has officially lost the election. It's Jover. It is so Jover. It is it's over. I mean, maybe something insane happens. Maybe we steal the election. You never know. But right now, it is so over. It is so over. Kamala Harris has lost. And CNN's over here trying to justify it. Like, no, you don't understand. There's still a clear path to victory. We just gotta convince Muslims that it's okay to genocide them. We just gotta convince Mexicans it's okay to pass a border bill and try to kill them, you know? And then if they think it's okay, then maybe they'll vote for us. It's over. All right. Anyway, what's this dude's name? Top followed creators on TikTok. This guy, I can't believe I don't know his name. I'm stupid. I'm a dummy. Zach King. It was Zach King. It was not Mark Rober. All right. Zach King. I am going to... Zach King Creative. He's a pretty solid, outstanding guy. So I think he goes right here with Dream. I'm gonna put him right here with Dream. He's a conservative liberal, you know. Creative guy, pretty chill, you know. I don't see anything from him that would push him any further. I don't see anything that would push him further down here. You know, he's default liberal. All right, Charlie D'Amelio, easy covert conservative. You know, tried to trick us with thinking she cared about BLM and stuff. She is a covert conservative, baby. Easy. I'm not even pulling up CNN anymore over here on this monitor. I don't even want to look at it anymore. All right, Logan Paul endorsed Donald Trump, brought him on his podcast. Transphobic remarks, showed a dead body, strong conservative. Easy. Jake Paul, very similar person. They're basically identical, strong conservative. FaZe Banks. FaZe Banks said he was voting for Donald Trump, and he did. But everything I've understood about FaZe Banks is he does not know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about politics. And overall, he's pretty socially liberal, too, by the way. So for that reason, I can't put him in covert conservative because he voted for Donald Trump, but I'll put him in slight conservative. Cutie Cinderella. Progressive liberal, baby. Right here. You and Valkyrie are friends. You stay right here. Pokemon. Same. Put her here too. And finally, ignore the extra Valkyrie. Finally, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. You might think he goes right here on the far right. But Ben Shapiro is actually super libbed up in his style, in the way he acts. He wanted to be a Hollywood screenwriter, by the way. He grew up in the Los Angeles, California area. Everything about him is liberal. life just didn't work out in his way, so he grifted to the right. The only difference is he just grifted a little too hard and became this big figurehead. So that's why strong conservative. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is the entire political spectrum of content creators, from the most left-leaning to the most far right. What do you think? Did I get any wrong? What I'm pretty confident in it. I'm pretty confident. So, with that being said, we have fully completed that. And I just got to film a little part for the YouTube right now here, so I don't have to film it later. But yeah, guys, let me know what other YouTube ideas, or yeah, guys, let me know what other video ideas you want to see on this channel. This was done on our live stream, so make sure to subscribe so you can catch us doing this live. And it's election night here. You guys already know who president is, so good luck to you, whoever it is. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay. Sorry, just had to record that little part for YouTube. So that the political spectrum thing is done. Let's check some election updates. Pennsylvania's lost. Pennsylvania is going to Donald Trump. He leads there by 220,000 again, now at 90%. And he just won something because he went up to 247, right? He won one vote. I don't know what he won. Oh well. Is CNN live again? CNN is still trying to convince us that okay, CNN says Trump has 251 and he doesn't have Pennsylvania yet, which would put him at 270. No, never mind. They're not saying he has 251. It says 246. I don't know what I just saw. Pennsylvania is a lost cause. That's going to Trump. So before we even look at Wisconsin, I've already called Trump winning the election. Kamala's not making that up either. Trump's won. I feel defeated. Trump has definitely won this thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play the CNN audio, but I have to go pee. So I'll be back. But you can listen to some CNN.
Vice President, simply, there's a lot of states to count still, but if you want to look at one question.
No, there's not. It's over. It's Jover.
Work if she does. So you're looking, yes, there are still some votes down to be counted down here. I think when we get closer to 100% in Philadelphia, that's going to settle the math once and for all. It's improbable at the moment. Let's just be honest about it, but it's not impossible. So you keep it on the board right there and you look. 78% though. 78% estimated in Philadelphia. She's at 78%. Look at the 484. You come back here, 78% to 81%. 3 points in the state's largest city that is absolutely fundamental to Democratic victory, underperforming Joe Biden by 3 percentage points. And at the moment, more than 100,000 votes. We're not done with the math yet. That's it. I mean, you can find other places too. You can find, we looked through some of the blue-collar counties earlier where she was underperforming Biden and Trump was moving up. We can come back and look at that again if you want. Just Trump outperforming 2020 by 3% or more. This is significant. It's happening mostly in counties he's winning anyway. But she's overperformed a little bit in Chester County down there, which, again, 8-10 years ago was a Republican county. But where is in Bucks County, which he's right at is currently flipped to red. But a lot of it's out here in places where Donald Trump already runs strong. He's running stronger. And that's critical. One of the questions coming into the campaign was, well, Donald Trump got 2016 phenomenon, more votes in 2020, but he lost. Are there really more Trump voters out there? Well, yes, apparently there are. And you see them right there, and you see them in other states as well. So there's Pennsylvania. Jake, I just want to go through these quickly to see if the math has changed. 63%. We've been stuck there for a little bit. You come down here. Again, when you're looking at 224,000 votes, Joe Biden won Michigan by 154,000 votes. Donald Trump's at 224,000 votes. And so you're looking and you're saying, where? Where? Is it possible? Well, the only place you can get that many votes is Wayne County. They're at 24%. So you see, she's at 58% right there. Donald Trump at 39%. Again, you want the conversation that is going to start once these states are called, assuming we stay on the trajectory we are on, which the trajectory we are on, not there, we're not the finish line, but the trajectory we are on is an overwhelming Donald Trump victory in the Electoral College. The possibility of flipping back all 3 blue wall states, but even if he loses Michigan, look at that. That's going to be a conversation in the Democratic Party. How's that happening? How is Donald Trump getting 30% up to 39%? How's that happen? How did he get 30%? The Democrats were already debating how did he get 30% 4 years ago. If that number holds, and Donald Trump's above 35%, close to 40% in Wayne County, Michigan, the Democratic Party has a big conversation on its hand. When I started doing this a very long time ago, it was about the Reagan Democrats in Macomb County. Now it's going to be about the Trump Democrats everywhere. Including black men in Wayne County. There'll be people saying it's the Arab American vote. Young voters didn't come out. The analysis will start as soon as we're done getting someone to 270. But that's a huge problem, and you see it again here. Again, the foundation of the Democratic Party is urban America, and then the close-in suburbs. That's where the math is, and that has allowed Democrats, allowed Joe Biden to withstand all of that. Donald Trump's phenomenon in rural America, where he's not only winning those counties, but the math is up, and this time again, he turned out more voters. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is Milwaukee County, the city and the suburbs around it, but the vice president's at 66%. That looks impressive, except when you go back 4 years ago, and you see the president of the United States was at 69%. And so in place after place, especially starting in the foundations, Anderson, the building blocks of the Democratic Party, which is urban America, she's having a problem. We're not done with all the vote counting yet, but she's underperforming President Biden from 4 years ago. In the close-in suburbs, you can find some exceptions to this, but in the close-in suburbs, she's doing reasonably well, reasonably close, exceeding it in some places. But Trump is doing better in urban America, a little bit better in some key suburbs in battleground states, and turning out even more voters in the red rural counties where we have seen the Trump phenomenon in 2016 and 2020. It's with us again in 2024.
Yeah. John, we'll come back to you. Caitlin Collins is at Trump headquarters, where we expect the former president to speak soon. Caitlin, do we know, how soon he may get there, and any idea on what he may say?
No, Anderson. Obviously, we're waiting to see what this is going to look like, because this is so new to the Trump campaign as well. They've been watching these numbers carefully all night as John King has been going back and forth on the magic wall, but they themselves obviously were waiting to see, were there any surprises in store? They were watching closely. The gut check of North Carolina and Georgia obviously came through for them, and now we are told Donald Trump is he is making preparations to head over here to the convention center. This is where the official watch party is, and Anderson, we saw aides preparing a teleprompter on stage, heightening the lectern and the microphone to make sure it's ready. So a clear sign that we do expect to hear from him. When that happens remains to be seen. And Kristen, obviously, as we've been looking at this, Trump is famously very superstitious. He doesn't like to, start planning things too far in advance, talking too much about who he'd put in a potential cabinet, much less working on a speech, which he said today he did not have remarks prepared.
And even the people around him were hesitant to put anything down. There were some conversations about potentially drafting something either way, drafting 2 versions of the speeches, but they were still hesitant to even do that. And a reminder that Donald Trump finished up his rally last night at 2:30 in the morning. When they got on the plane, there were some conversations about what tonight was going to look like, but essentially everybody was like, let's wait and see, let's go and see. Now, I am told that when Donald Trump gets here, it's not clear if he's going to go to the stage right away. We know, obviously, they have called North Carolina and Georgia, which were big wins for the Trump campaign. Whether or not they're going to wait for one more of those big swing states remains to be seen. We do believe he's going to be here imminently, that he's going to leave Mar-a-Lago, head over here. We obviously know that they've bussed over all of the people from Mar-a-Lago who have just arrived here. We've seen this room fill out. But how exactly he's going to handle this moment remains to be seen. We know what happened, obviously, in 2020. I am told he's in a very different headspace now than he was at that point, probably.
I just realized my mic was muted.
Telling him that he could win
But yeah,
Yeah, you could sense
it's
that today when he was
Jover.
voting at his polling place as well. He was talking in more reflective ways about the campaign. He was saying he believed it was one of the best campaigns they've ever run, talking about in terms of just pure messaging. I mean, obviously, some of his allies would have disagreed from the candidate himself on that front.
Is it over? It's over. Trump's your president now. You've never been alive during a Trump presidency. What are you gonna do? Oh. You listened to Trump's lie about them eating the dogs, and then you went and voted for him 170,000 times in Pennsylvania. How is this doing now? Yeah, it's done. I would love to say it's not done, but it is. It truly, truly is. Um, I'm waiting for CNN to call one of these. They're not going to call Pennsylvania for some reason for a long time. They're going to keep trying to hold on. But I think Pennsylvania is safely in Trump's pocket. I doubt that.
Front, but one thing about this room tonight, obviously, it's filled with his supporters who are here.
Republicans control the Senate, great, and they got the Houses. A Republican-led government with Trump at the head of it is pretty intense. Some interesting years we're heading into. I hope he doesn't implement the tariff policy. That's going to be horrible on the economy. It's now sit and we try to figure out how we're going to make it through Project 2025, mass deportation, an insane, absolutely insane economy policy that is going to. We're going to continue to see some growth over the next 1 to 2 years. That's kind of expected. But I fear near the end of Trump's second term, going into whoever takes up the reins after, we're going to see a return, massive tanking of the economy. Nevada is going red. Arizona's going red. Honestly, I'd be shocked if Kamala doesn't win anything besides Minnesota, Maine, and New Hampshire at this point. Michigan, honestly, Michigan now looks like it's going red. This is the first time the blue wall is going to break. I did call that earlier. I've already called Trump is going to be president. Wisconsin is definitely going red. What do you think about it? What are you going to do? Yeah. I don't have much else to say, to be like fully honest with you. It's like, what do we do now? I don't have any more content planned. This went a little faster than I expected. The content creator political spectrum. If anybody wanted to take a look at that who hadn't taken a look at it while we were still working on it, waiting for it to be finished. Hey, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Yeah, I don't know. Not to be a downer. That's just it's the way the dice rolled tonight. It's 100% Kamala's fault. 100% her campaign's fault. It's a travesty that they let Joe Biden drop out, and then they treated this race like it was an easy win. That Joe Biden was the only thing keeping them from winning. And while it was a big factor in keeping them from winning, the reality is that the policy sucked as well. Um, just because Joe Biden, what you're in my way of the mic, Luna. Um, just because Joe Biden um had proven that he was no longer fit to be president doesn't mean that everything else about the Democratic Party was good. Um, you know, everything going on in Gaza was getting worse. For some reason, they decided last second, after campaigning for years against Donald Trump's border policies, hey, why don't we build the wall? And those are just like the main things. Those are the main reasons uh, why Trump won. Obviously, it's not been called yet for Trump to win, but that's what's happening at this point. Um, unless the most insane thing happens, and then I'm actually kind of a little bit more scared of that. Um, if somehow Kamala flips these blue with what they're looking like right now, um, we're gonna see a January 6th like we've never seen before because it's over. It's really, really over. CNN's got some key race alerts. I'll go ahead and announce those. Do you want down? Do you want under bed? Hey, say goodbye. Say goodbye to everybody. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep. All right. Um, Michigan. Michigan is going very Trump. Very, very Trump. Um, sorry, that light fell again. I should have got the tripod for this, but it's whatever. Um, Wisconsin going very Trump. That's almost fully counted. Arizona, it might go Kamala, but it does not matter. Um, yeah, that's that. Kamala does have put. She just did put some more points on the board. I don't know what she won. That gave her 4. Um, but it's over. It is over. Um, I don't know what to do at this point. Trump to address supporters at campaign event very soon. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm taking a look at. It looks like Trump is up by around 220,000, exactly 220,000 in Pennsylvania, with now 93% of the vote counted. Um, so this is an easy win from him. Um, yeah, I don't know what else. I genuinely, I'm I don't know what else to cover, what else to talk about. I'm waiting for them to call it for Trump, but he's already won. You know, it's Jover, so Jover. I guess we can play some music. You know, let me go ahead and close this out. Um, American Lo-Fi. Whatever, we'll play this one. They're not gonna. That's going to Trump. That's going to Trump. That's going to Trump. So, at this point, what are we looking at? What does the final score look like? I will say Trump wins Pennsylvania. That'll give him 19. I think, honestly, Kamala might win. Hold on, let's take a look at this. Kamala will win Arizona. I didn't believe that until now, but I'm looking at it. Over half counted. Yeah. Trump will definitely win Nevada. It's another 6 points. He'll win Alaska. He will win Michigan. And he will win Wisconsin. So that will put him at 300. So with that being said, that will put Kamala at 238. So that's what I'm calling it on. That's the election result I'm giving. 238 to a 300. I'm not sad that Kamala lost as much as I am upset with how her campaign was run. It was very disappointing. Because I did get a little hope, not gonna lie. I still thought it was in play for Trump when Kamala was first announced, but the more it went on, especially when Tim Walz was announced, I was like, it's got a chance. It could go 50-50. But after the DNC, the way Kamala ran her campaign was very, very disappointing. Very frustrating. And yeah. I don't know if I should wait, because like I don't know how long it's going to take to count this. This is at 91% now, and it's not changing. So, you know what? I'm going to go off stream. Yeah. Trump has won. I'm calling it. Trump has won. There is no reason to continue watching, besides like waiting for them to officially announce it, but it's Jover. So guys, I hope you enjoyed me watching the stream, getting a little frustrated, getting a little disappointed, but it's whatever, you know. I didn't think another 2016 would happen, but like here we are, because the Democrats do not know how to run their campaigns. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later.